Hello everyone, Quinn here. And geez, it's been a while since I made one of these videos, huh? It's also been a while since we got an update to this game, so here we are at long last. We're finally going over the much awaited final update of the content pass. At least I'm pretty sure it's the final update. I don't know if there's anything they missed out on from the content pass that it didn't deliver on that we'll be getting in April or what, but since we didn't get an update in February, this March update kind of rolls that over. And for the most part, I'd say it's made up for the fact that we kind of missed out on an update last month. There's quite a bit of changes here. Some good changes, I'll say. But let me stop beating around the bush and just get straight to it. So, first and foremost, if you guys didn't notice by the cover image of my video, there is currently double XP going on. It is going to be going on from, I believe it was March 18th to March 26th. So, perfect time to step back into TCM. I definitely will be coming in to see if I can finally level up the rest of Wyatt's perks. I haven't played Victim since the last double XP, which I used to level up Wyatt a little bit. So, I will be doing quite a bit of that, and hopefully, if I can get him leveled up in time, I'll switch over to family as per standard for me. And test out the new changes for the family when I do so. Now, I also want to point out that I'm showing some Rush Week gameplay. This is the first time I've played in Rush Week, basically since the mode came out. So I can't say I was able to test all of the changes and whatnot they made to this mode since I stopped playing it. However, I'm just really showing it honestly, just because the fact that you would probably never see new Fresh Squid Game from me. I'm not even sure why I even did. I want to say this is around the time there was an issue with the servers where the normal game mode was having troubles populating lobbies. So I tried Rush Week to see if it was working. I want to say that might have been it. Maybe I just wanted to play one last game and decided to do Rush Week. But again, let me stop ranting. We're here to talk about patch notes, not why I'm pushing Rush Week. But moving on. Okay, so for the free content pass, well, okay, not free content pass, but I guess free content from buying the content pass, if that makes sense. I mean, you're paying for it regardless. But again, we have the Sunday best outfits. So this is going to be one new outfit for everybody but Leatherface and Bones. Those two have been skipped for the Sunday pass. Leatherface most likely because we just got his 2003 outfit, and well, kind of his Sunday best is technically pre-woman, so there's that. Technically, everyone's now finally getting the Sunday best, where as Leatherface always had his, but Bones unfortunately did not get one. Most likely due to the fact that these are both made around the same time, so hopefully Bones will get his first cosmetic sooner rather than later, as well as us getting some more of those execution packs. If I'm not mistaken, I think we have two more left that we still haven't gotten, as well as that hair pack. Everyone was kind of expecting to come out with this update, but the denim outfit that came for the victims was a pleasant surprise, which I'm not going to be showing off because I'm not in the mood for screenshotting individual pixelated looking images of all the victims. I guess everyone but Wyatt's gotten one. But I promise when the update comes out next week, I will be showing off at least how they look in the outfits, if not some gameplay on them. However, what I can show off is going to be Sunny's outfit pack 3. So I'm going to be showing off just one image of the skins here. And I'm going to be linking in the patch notes as well in the description, as well as another video which I'll be showing off with some bugs that are going on at Wyatt, because I'm going to go over some of the changes they made for Wyatt. As opposed to me scrounging clips from me actually having to play to show all this stuff in action, I'd rather you guys just look at a video of all this stuff that I've already gotten myself that I'm not trying to re-get because I delete most of my stuff after I've posted a video of it. But moving on here. First up here for the changes, we're going to be increasing the blast radius for Bones' Gore Bomb. So this is going to be great, especially seeing as the last update, I'm pretty sure, they stopped Bones from being able to blow up victims through the walls. So I think this is a nice compensation buff here to Bones. I don't know why it took 2 months for them to do it, but moving on, we have the Xbox crashes. They said they fixed various Xbox crashes. Most people who have played Xbox would like to note that most of these crashes has to do with the Series S, whereas the X, I'm pretty sure is the better version, does not seem to experience most of these crashes. So I find that very interesting that the inferior Xbox model crashes way more than the superior model. But I just hope that this finally nips these crashes in the butt because one of the most annoying things by far is going to be the fact when you do get an Xbox player in your lobby, they almost always crash. In addition to that, there's always the long wait time for you to even load into the match when someone crashes. So it's just a double whammy, and then people are likely to quit when it's taking so long for various reasons. So again, crossing my fingers that they finally actually fixed the Xbox crashes for good here, because this is ridiculous that this has been an issue for so long. So we have base game interactions. Is them further smoothing out some of the traversal options where they prioritized picking up items over traversing. So I have a clip here, day one from when the last update that supposedly fixed this came out, where immediately after playing around with the door and picking up items, this one being in Slaughterhouse in particular, which is one that I've seen victims get screwed over from, and I've gotten screwed over plenty of times from, where you pick up that health bottle that's right next to the door. Honestly, I'd say the easiest fix for them would have been for them to simply just adjust where these items spawn. They've been said in one of their live streams that they can adjust spawns for items, change around where they spawn and whatnot. It's pretty easy to do, but instead they decided to do this whole complicated priority system where that was the simple fix. But I'm not gonna question Gun too much here, or rather Black Tower, I guess, because they're the ones that actually do this stuff. So next up we have Close Encounters, and this is in private games. I barely even care about this, but basically the host player will win the grapples decision where they shouldn't have. So for all you three people who play private games, I'm happy for you there. They are finally fixing the black bars from the Execution Pack 4. So now you won't see those pesky black bars when you're doing executions, which I don't even really notice too much. I'm moving on here. We have bone spawns on the slaughterhouse maps. Again, this is something I covered in one of my previous videos. So if you're curious about that, you'd have to go back and look at the video where bones first came out. Actually, I'm sorry. No, you don't got to look that far. What I'm saying. Basically, look at my last video. I mean, I'm just gonna link it anyway. I'll link the video to it, but I've shown off all the goofiness with Bones spawning all over the map. I personally haven't played Bones since I finished leveling up his perks, which was when they fixed his attributes. So with some of these fixes they're doing to Bones, maybe this might prompt me to go ahead and pick him up again and play him. We'll see if I actually feel like he's viable enough to actually put into my rotation. But he's like literally the only fan member I literally never play just because he's that bad. And mind you, I don't even play Cook, despite how powerful his padlocks are half the time, because I'm just sick of putting up padlocks and still victims are still getting through stuff. But again, before I start ranting about that, we have Bones' Gore Bombs, and this is another reason why I plan on playing Bones. This is one of the biggest things that aggravated the heck out of me, and that's going to be the fact that sometimes Bones' bombs will be put in spots where they don't trigger and it can't be retrieved. So I'm glad they're finally fixing that because again, that is pretty annoying. They also said that you'd be able to put a bomb mid-air by an escape area. So again, that's nonsense. I'm glad that that's all fixed. We have Wyatt's awareness ability upgrade where his knives, when thrown at a family member, is supposed to reveal them for all the victims. Apparently, it wasn't doing that. I'm going to assume it only highlighted for Wyatt. I haven't used that at all because, of course, the one for disarming traps and whatnot is way more valuable. I know I tried to test with the longer stun time knives, but I don't know. These knives are kind of hard to hit because it's so easy to dodge. But also, I want to say around the time I was playing around with that version of his knife, that's when his knives will crash the game. So yeah. Speaking of interacting with stuff, they fixed an issue with Wyatt's knives where he'd be able to turn off an objective while hands is rip stalling it, which of course does not sound like that should happen, especially as I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be able to I'm sorry, shut off an objective after it has just been turned back on. You have to wait for the cooldown, just like everyone else who can kick it and whatnot. You also want and receive XP for, again, turning off this stuff when it's already off, so good fixes there. They also are going to be fixing the fact that you'd be able to throw a knife and not only turn off the generator but disarm hands as traps. I'm pretty sure it also turns off hitchhiker's traps. I don't see any mentions of it disarming two traps at once. I hope they change that. So now Wyatt would have to be able to. I'm sorry, he will have to throw multiple knives to disarm this stuff. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the knife retrieval thing reduces it down by one. So having to throw both your knives to disarm this stuff would be very handy, especially if again if you are a hitchhiker and hands and you double trap that stuff again, you should have to. I mean, I guess the hitchhiker trap wouldn't even matter. You don't even have to stand next to it anyway, so you might as well actually disarm both of those anyway. Now I think about it, I mean, you're disarming it by range anyway, right? But again, moving on, we have bone chum collision with Wyatt Dyers. Apparently, there's an issue where the bone chums would block collisions for specific things. There's his knives won't be blocked by the bone charms collision. I want to say it's talking about like you cut down the bones and then throwing it, let's say at Sissy, and if somehow it will collide the bone charms that are literally on the floor instead of hitting Sissy. So hopefully that's fixed. So that does sound like nonsense. It'd be nice that if you actually do manage to line up a perfect knife throw, nothing's cucking it there. Next, this is again, this is why I linked it to the video because I showed like literally all this stuff for Wyatt here, plus all of the goofy bugs before they fix them. Yes, I have definitely done this. I've just been goofy because my friend, she's a Virginia maid. She always throws her powder as she's like walking out the exit and stuff. So I wanted to try that with Wyatt too. Uh, my surprise, or not a surprise at all, I should say, knowing this game you can literally ready to throw a knife as you're escaping. So they are fixing that little goofy thing. It's not something game breaking, but it's a little stupid thing that I'm glad they're fixing. Although I'd argue there's a lot stupider things that they haven't fixed yet. Like I'm already gonna spoil it here. I don't see any mention of the fact that Wyatt screams like Danny when he's on a hook. If they're not gonna fix that, just remove him from even being thrown on the gallows in the intro cutscene, just like Maria. 'Cause this really is becoming a meme here. Literally every new character they've released, except for Virginia, has had someone else's scream for months before they finally fixed it. Virginia, they actually, to their credit, they fixed that one within a month. But yeah, nope, not why. It's been like 3 months or so, and he is still screaming like Danny on the hook. Now we have bypassing animations. This is going to be a big kick in the teeth here for you Hitchhiker Mans, especially as they're getting rid of the ability for you to animation cancel setting traps, closing doors, and locking doors. So I heard about the locking door thing, but I've never used it. Especially there's that animation for locking into the door and all that isn't that long. But the trap one, yeah, that's gonna definitely suck for you hitchhiker man. So like to cancel out of that. They also are fixing the fact that you get an animation cancel out of a barge. I've only done this like once with hands because you're not usually next to something when you barge someone. It's kind of situational, but yeah, I definitely remember having a time where I barred someone that like locked the door or something like that. As I did it, I don't think I have the clip. I'll check, and obviously, if I find it, you'll see it on the screen right about now. But if not, yeah. Now they're also fixing a family animations. This is here. They're fixing a bug where when a family member would walk through the valve exit, they would get stuck in a walk animation for a brief period of time. I'll see if I can find a clip for that. I know I've had plenty of times where I stabbed a family member in the back when something like this has happened. So we'll see if I can find that clip. I have one in mind right now where I stabbed the Leatherface in the back and escaped at the same time as Danny. So we'll see if I can find that. They have fixed native invites on a PS5 for custom lobbies, where the invite prop did not always show up in PS5 players' custom lobbies. This is a big one here for you Leatherface, man. So they're fixing the issue where Leatherface's overhead slams would not connect if a victim was traversing a crawl space, stabbing Grandpa, and or interacting with the valve. So that's huge because those are some big things for you not to connect with. It's already finicky hitting someone through a crawl space. So when you do manage to line it up, that's definitely hit. Same for Grandpa. They've messed up trying to be funny and stab Grandpa for whatever reason. And Leatherface is around. You should get that hidden. And then the valve, yeah, them. Let's say Daddy trying to tamper the valve. You miss an overhead and you tampered it. You don't have hands, GG. Now you got to sit in front of the valve like the good old days and try to play goalie here. So yeah, definitely huge that they're fixing that. Now this is one that I'm disappointed only just now fixing. This has been in the game for nearly a year now. This is going to be no cell and handed bars. We've reported again almost a year ago. And this is the fact that when Hands barges a victim, they don't lose no cell stacks. Now, when you barge a victim, they will properly lose stacks from it. At least that's what I believe this is saying here. So next up, we have Protective Aura. This is for Virginia. This is where that perk did not reduce damage when the victim was pulled out of a hiding spot. So they'll be fixing that. We have Rally Leader. This is the perk where you help victims recover faster from being incapacitated. Apparently, it only worked for the perk holder, so now it's gonna work for everybody. So that's good. This is Fish Hooks here. It's funny. I remember playing against. Oh, I'm sorry, playing with this guy who just swore by fish hooks, especially on Sunny, and he just was raged at this one guy that took Sunny and didn't let him play it, literally so he could stab Leatherface in the back with fish hooks. And I'm arguing with the guy. Leatherface has infinite stamina when he's revving. So what's fish hooks doing to him? And he's all, oh, at least slow him down before he starts revving. I'm like, okay, buddy. But anywho, they apparently the level 2 and 3 of this perk was not working properly, so now they fixed that. But moving on, I'm happy for that guy if he even still plays. This was like over a year ago. I've seen it, but they're fixing slippery. So this is going to be hallelujah for you sissy mains. I know a lot of you in particular ask for this perk to be fixed with her, but it's also for victims, as I'm going to be showing here with Connie here, who has slippery. It's very inconsistent. With cross spaces, it doesn't activate tier out of it. However, with gaps, the long gaps, I swore with Sissy at least, it activates prematurely on long gaps, but for victims, it doesn't until you finish the long gap. However, the short gaps, yes, it definitely does activate prematurely, so you're not getting quite as much the value from it. So they're going to be fixing that now. This is something no one cares about. I'm wondering who reported this, but Danny knows engines, the perk of the same name. They said they are fixing a bug where it wouldn't activate when Danny was in the proper range when equipped with that perk. I don't even know what that perk does. So that's what I find even funny here. But this is another one that I find funny. It's slinging for the fences with bones. That perk was not activating properly. If you guys don't know, that's the one that makes so you can swing more times before stamming out. And for Leatherface, it makes him not stall as much. So run that. Don't be funny. Run Chicken Whisper if you're running what is it? The serrated uh rough cut build or big swings or serrated. I want to say that's the side that has those two. But yeah, I also want to point out, and I pointed this out before again when I reviewed the update after Hands. I'm sorry, not Hands. I'm sorry, the update with Wyatt and Bones' release, where they fixed attributes. There's a bug where static consumption stuff doesn't work properly on Bones in general. So unless they shadow fix that with this update, there's still going to be the issue where, as I'll be showing in a clip here, I have 50 stamina and I'm running big swings on Bones. It's not cutting his stamina in half. You guys can count the swings with me here, but up to 21 swings I was able to do with Bones with max endurance and big swings. And mind you, I'm pretty sure I had enough points to do a little bit extra into a Sabdri on top of it. So my Bones is going to be relentless and hurt with that on. You cannot, however, run serrated with swinging for the fences as they're branching paths. So it's still not a bad combo being able to run swinging for the fences and big swings, especially if they don't fix that. Again, you being able to swing that much with super high stamina. I mean, you don't even need to go 50 endurance, just like 35, 40 again with swinging for the fences and big swings, and it's going to be a problem. So hopefully they fix that because, yeah, well, that could be a little bit of an issue, especially because I think Bones has an issue where he can double hit, which they fixed for other family members a while ago, but I'm pretty sure they didn't fix it for Bones. I've definitely had some times where he hit me and it shouldn't have killed me. And it's like you see my health had a little bit left, yet I'm going into the animation for the execution. So moving on, this is a bug that has been in the game for a while. I thought they fixed it, but I guess not. This is where when you're accidentally contaminating a blood bucket and then you cancel it out to, like, let's say go through a gap because this game loves putting interactions on top of each other. So there's like blood buckets next to gaps. You accidentally try to contaminate the blood bucket, like anyone does that, and then you go through the gap instead. Then you hear like the fizzing noise, you contaminating it. So they're fixing that so that doesn't happen because it's very annoying. They're fixing a bug where if Johnny gets electrocuted by a cattle grid while he's tracking footprints, it remain active even if he was electrocuted. So uh, this is another bug that I'm not sure exactly what they're fixing. I mean, I'm sure of what they're fixing, but I'm not sure if they're fixing what I hope they're fixing, and that's going to be the fact that the health potions disappear when you replace it with another item. They're more so mentioning it to when you poison. I'm sorry, when since you poison a health bottle and you replace it with another item. So let's say if you grab the poison health bottle and you replace it with a non-poison health bottle, the poison one would disappear. This is something I do to avoid people from grabbing the poison health bottles. I don't think it does bleed damage if she has that perk on, but still, you never know. Them moaning and then someone chasing them while they're poisoned could get them killed nonetheless. But as I showed the clip there, I replaced a health bottle with a screwdriver, which a lot of people do because again they're like stacking stuff, so you might have accidentally grabbed health when you meant to grab a second tool, and because you don't care, you're just going to get rid of the health and screw people over out of extra health when they might need it later. So I'm hoping that now they're changing so the health bottle will drop on the floor like key items do, because again, it's really annoying when people replace health bottles. Or even worse, if you forget you highlight a health bottle and you replace another item with it or something like that. So this is one that's been in the game for again over a year now, and I'm glad they're finally fixing that. There's been times I thought they fixed it, but they didn't. And that's going to be the fact that the minigame UI would disappear after stunning someone with a close encounter. So I have a great clip here. Well, just perfect is perfect scenario here where I was trying to do the fuse box. Nancy tried to stop me. I grappled her, and then when I went to go finish the puzzle, my entire minigame disappeared. So I only need to put like one more thing into, but because it disappeared, I couldn't quite put the thing in because I'm not Daredevil. I can't do things while blind, and as a result, Nancy stopped me, and she began to hard to camp that thing, and we ended up dying because I couldn't finish that one puzzle there where I should have. Granted, grappling on, I think I had choose fight too. I could be wrong. And then doing the fuse box in front of him is cheesy, and that's stuff that shouldn't be possible in the game. But again, it's still the principle of the fact that stuff like that shouldn't happen over a stupid bug because clearly that's not intended. So we have a lock picking minigame as an issue where the lock pick will wiggle rapidly when you're trying to complete it. I've seen plenty of people show clips of it. I think I've only had this happen like once, and this was like over a year ago. But I'm glad they fixed that because that's annoying. We have victims permanently highlighted. They are fixing the fact that when Wyatt would throw a knife at Grandpa and immobilize him, he'd be permanently highlighted a lot of times. They also said that they're fixing issues where victims would get highlighted by Grandpa's sonar and get permanently highlighted. However, I would like to mention it's just not even necessarily just Grandpa's sonar that does it. He's just the main culprit. It's just any kind of reveal perks have chances of permanently highlighting. I've seen people get hit by tracker tag get permanently highlighted. They drop down a well, they get permanently highlighted. Just all kinds of stuff like that. So hopefully they kind of inadvertently or again shadow fixed that fact that you just be permanently highlighted by all kinds of means. As again, when playing victim getting permanently highlighted, it's just really stupid and sheesh, it's pretty annoying. Well, not even annoying. I mean, I kind of feel guilty as a fan member where I see like let's say Leland permanently highlighted. I mean it's Leland, so you don't feel that bad, but still, being able to permanently see someone just makes it so it just literally doesn't make it do. You're just always going to be there, ready to give it to them when they finally come upstairs. So they have issues with bombs, where if three people in a private game were hit by a bomb at the same time, it would crash the game. So again, for the three people who play private games, I'm glad that's fixed for you. Now they have some stuff here for when you're inside a container in a slaughterhouse storm, the effects weren't properly present. Issues with the resolution or why it's portrait, sometimes the customization menu not being the right well resolution. This is one a lot of people have been asking for, the Hitchhiker Chestburster execution. The FPS on that one was not good, so they said they're fixing that. They're fixing the player XP on Graveyard. This is a big one, especially for people like me who play family and like the track score. It wasn't receiving. I'm sorry, victims weren't receiving the right score for escaping the basement and then other areas of the graveyard. Now this is a bit of a scuff video I'm showing here, but this is during the double XP, so the points are double. But you do the math here. You get 50 for getting the tool, 200 for opening the door, and you're supposed to get, I believe it's 100 for getting out of the basement. It still says I have, well, it says 500, but again, it should be 250. I'm walking up and down. It's still not triggering. It even how you know it's bugged. It doesn't even say on the side of the screen you escape the basement. We then proceed over to the generator escape area. I open that gate, go through the gate. Again, it's double XP, so I got 400 extra from going through there, and then 50 for surviving for a minute. So that's double to 100. So you again, you do the math here. I should have way more than 900 points. I should be in the thousands by now. So again, by it not tracking two vital things such as you escaping the basement and the graveyard point wise, it allows some scenarios where you're tracking score. You're saying, Connie only has 500 points. The most she's done is maybe open like two basement doors and then came upstairs. She shouldn't be up anywhere. And then that's you hear the generator turn off, and then you go see Connie teabag at the gate. And you're like, oh, okay, that's what I get for not checking anyway. you know. So I also don't see that they fixed the fact that the graveyard basement is literally the only thing it like titles everything where you're in a basement. There's the caretaker tunnel areas, but if I'm not mistaken, that's like the area underneath the water valve exit areas or whatever, where that area is kind of a bit of a sub basement area where it doesn't quite count as the graveyard basement. But again, most of these areas aren't properly titled, and it kind of makes maneuvering around a basement a little harder because you don't at least have those landmarks to kind of say, oh, basement shrine. Okay, I know this area. This is the area that connects to Leatherface Lair. You know, speaking, which is not even a Leatherface Lair. It's just like I love for them to fix this stuff so that again, you have at least the little landmarks on the side of your screen to help you maneuver around the map. I'm starting to learn a bit more 3 months later of playing on that map because again, this is such a tough area. About all the maps on the game, this is seriously the toughest one I've ever been able to learn. I'm still a little fuzzy on the map, but I'm not nearly as bad as I used to be when this map first came out, where I literally just would never escape on that map as a victim, especially. Well, okay, obviously I'm a victim, just because the map was just so complicated. But they're fixing an issue with Virginia's skill tree. Apparently, the right path of her skill tree was not visible, which is funny because this was like an issue when she first launched. I don't know how they brought that back, but I didn't respect it properly. Show this off, but I can show that it seems fine when you respect elsewhere, but apparently when you're actually trying to respect over there, that's where the issue rises. So they fixed a bunch of issues with missing gore and floating assets on Slaughterhouse, the mill. I've showed some of this stuff here in past videos, but I don't know why they need to add more gore on Leatherface and Lair. I mean, I think there's enough dismembered body parts on it, but okay, more power to them, I guess. Uh, it fixed the issue with Hitchhiker where he gets stuck in wall gaps, more specifically on a West cell and dig room on Nancy's house with wireframe. Although I find usually you just be able to just gap right back out and then gap back in to fix that issue. Uh, I have had an issue where Hitchhiker somehow got stuck in a door. If I could find a clip, I'll be showing it off here. So hopefully, if folks on fixing more stuff like that. I don't know how that guy managed to get stuck in the door there, but he was a little kid, so I didn't feel too bad. 'Cause he probably shouldn't be playing this game. But moving on, they fixed an issue at the tool storage crawl space gap. I think I know exactly what they're talking about too. This had to do with again multiple interactions. I remember it very vividly. I closed the door, then I went through the gap at the same time. I got stuck in a wall. So yeah, they definitely need to fix that. I want to say I showed off this clip in a video I posted a while ago on like weird bugs that I encountered in this game, but this is a big one here. They have ladder stuck spots. Now, unfortunately, this one only shows several areas they fixed. That's going to be the tool shed and gas station, thicket ladder, again, gas station, and garage ladder on Slaughterhouse. But I'm going to be showing off a clip here on the mill instead, where Connie was getting sandwiched by me as Nancy and then a sissy. And Connie got stuck down the ladder when I knocked her down it. She ended up DCing, but she honestly shouldn't have because I ended up getting her unstuck literally by climbing down the ladder. So that's one of the less egregious cases, but there's definitely more egregious ones where you just straight up just don't get unstuck at all. You just have to quit because you there's just nothing you can do. The family can't kill you when you're stuck. Literally, they just beat you like a pinata and just get free blood off of you, max out grandpa using you, and then kill everyone else. But again, like in this video I'm showing, I managed to knock her down and kill her. But moving on, because I've been talking about knocking people off ladders for too long, we have a valve stuck spot here. So I'm not entirely sure what this pertains to. I can't really recall seeing anyone like stuck inside a valve or valve like the valve handle, like where you can pick them up or by the valve tank itself. But one thing I can think of this might be is they're fixing the fact that sometimes they get stuck turning the valves. I've seen a lot of victims do that, but otherwise, I'm not entirely sure what they mean by valve stuck spots that are being fixed. Uh, Fanny house lighting is talking about a natural lighting in front of the field area. I'm pretty sure that's like right next to the generator escape in the front of the house, the little barn there, or whatever. But again, they have like some stuff here where they're talking about fixing collisions and lighting. Bunch of rush week fixes here pertain to sensing fear, Johnny's footprints, getting stuck in vents, etc., etc. I'm not going to go over that as this video is already gone way longer than I actually planned on. I thought we was going to be able to end this before the 30-minute mark here. But again, I'm linking the patch notes for you to see all this stuff here if you want to look at the in-depth changes and whatnot. But I'm going to end it with the last three changes here that actually are relevant. I don't know why they didn't just put these before the rush week stuff, but anyway, that's going to be the wait a second perk description. This is something I feel like I might have had a hand in, as I did report a bug with Nancy's not necessarily wait a second, but just Nancy in general, where you're not able to help victims when they're stuck in a trap. You used to be able to. I remember specifically doing it. I guess this was an intended thing. I don't know why, but you can't use a bone scrap to save anyone when they're trapped anymore. They have to get it off themselves now. So that's a little crappy. But they're saying here that teammate assistance in a removal of the barbed wire is not intended. So either they're going to say that exact line of text, or they're just going to remove the text that says in the perk currently that a teammate can take it off. I put on the screen there and everything for you guys to see. So very weird that they put in the perk description. You can remove it, but now they're kind of double back and saying you can't. I mean, hey, seeing as Nancy can have her chaps disarmed in like 2 seconds, whether you have bomb squad on or not, I guess it's a nice little, dare I say, buff to Nancy there. Now this is a weird change. They're removing the United States flags on the Slaughterhouse Storm maps and replacing them with Texas state flags. So I'm not sure what that's about. But moving on, our final change is going to be the fact that Connie's quick soda outfit cosmetic has been changed from cherry to cola. This is something I complained about. I don't think I reported this though, but I definitely complained about to myself. Maybe even in the video when I released that cosmetic. And that's the fact that cherry is her outfit where it's like her default outfit but red. So I'm not sure how they got that confused. Maybe I don't know if that's literally just what they decided to name it, or it's like a mix up where they named it cherry instead of cola. But again, I'm glad they fixed that because it definitely bothered me. But yeah, that's going to be it for the patch notes. Again, some decent changes here. I always feel disappointed with the patch notes, like there's something missing. But honestly, just every time I kind of sit here and think about what needs to be fixed, they at least usually you get one thing that I wanted to see changed for a long time. So there's that the mini game UI bug things, and I wanted to see changed for a long time. But again, it's just really balancing things. We haven't had any kind of shake up in balancing since they changed the grapple system, if I'm not mistaken. Over a year now, we haven't seen any perk changes in a tree or anything like they said that we'd be seeing often. And what else is there? Just balancing stuff, really. Like again, as someone who's a family man, I know how to sweat. I know the sweatest thing you can do is literally just sit here and stare at the gates. You know, check that fuse box whenever you can. Shoot, play hitchhiker in hands, so they can trap those things. So to make it even harder for them to sneak into it. Just stuff like that. And it's like the fact that again these are the optimal strats for this game since it came out, and they still are. It's a problem. Like there's just a lot of change that need to be made to this game to make it a lot more family friendly. I haven't played this game as much as I used to. I've kind of moved on, but when I do play this game here and there, again, not much has usually changed. Family queues are instant, victim queues are long, etc., etc. And it's just like, again, it's very clear that if they made family easier, more accessible for players, More people will play family. And the easiest way to do that again is to give the victims a harder time.
You gotta be
I've
shitting me.
said it once. I've shown it multiple times. So I might even throw another clip here just for the hell of it, just to prove my point. Victims can get out in under a minute if the family members don't do the optimal tactics of getting away from their spawns, ignoring blood, and only feeding when they're absolutely sure nothing's being completed or someone's going to sneak an objective off. So again, if you don't follow these rules, the victims are going to escape like it's nothing. And victims are very cocky. They're going to sit here and teabag you or whatnot. Just make you feel bad for not sweating. Yet they'll give you crap if you do sweat or use hands, etc. And it's like, for your victims, viewers, I'm sorry that I have to do you dirty like this, just call you out. But again, it's just going from a game like Dead by Daylight where sure there's gin rushing that can be done and whatnot, but at the same time, you at least know they have to complete 5 gens to escape. Always. It's not, rush out the basement, go to the fuse box where there's a fuse that spawn 10 feet away from it and get that done just that easy. You pull two tools, one to open the basement door, one to open a box, then you throw the fuse in that was super close anyway. It's just like so easy. Then you have Danny, Virginia characters with, Saboteur that could just make it so that you can't turn that exit off right away. It's just like again, it's easy guaranteed escapes, and it's like I don't understand why victims wait 3 minutes plus lobbies to escape in a minute. Your queues are longer than your actual games, and it doesn't matter if the family queues are instant and etc. Who's gonna want to queue up another game where this is the stuff they see? It's just not fun. I'm the sissy man. I enjoy playing sissy the most out of everyone. That's always been the case. And it's really it gets old where people DC and dodge me because I'm not playing Cook, Hands Hitch or whatever because people will feel like you need those characters to stand a chance against these sweatier victims. And it's just like sad that that's the case. It's like when do you ever feel like you can use these characters without feeling like you're throwing because again it's just so easy for victims. But again, that's going to be it here. Again, before this video actually reaches 40 minutes, I'm going to end it there. I'll see you guys next week with the verdict for this update. In the meantime, again, enjoy that Devil XP. And if you haven't already, get a life.